G'day, let me introduce you to 17 of the current F1 drivers' wives and girlfriends. In this group you'll find a number of models, a TV reporter, a professional cyclist, some students and 4 mums. Like every year there are new inclusions and departures from this select group, so if you're ready, let's get started. First up, it amazes me the level of interest in this topic. Every year this video is in my top 3 videos on YouTube. But these videos do date quickly. In this video you'll notice 3 new inclusions. But first up, let me go to Pierre Gasly's girlfriend, Francisca Gomes, also known as Kika. She's a stylish Portuguese fashion model in her early 20s. The pair started going out in 2022. And prior to Kika, Pierre was in relationships with 2 Catarinas. The first time I met Kika was in Abu Dhabi in 2022. She is a power of fun, and her dad, you may not know, is a professional driver. He's at a number of F1 races doing hosting duties. This is Gonzalo Gomes, and he is one very smooth character. Kika is hugely popular on social media. Over the past couple of years, Kika's social media presence has skyrocketed. She attends numerous races. This year I've spotted her at Bahrain, Miami, Monaco, where I shot this funny interaction with Pierre's photographer. She was also at Barcelona and at the British GP. She's very much an integral part of Team Gasly, and she is the golden girl amongst this group, and to us outsiders, she's certainly a perfect companion for Pierre. Next up, we'll go to a new inclusion in this group, and this is Mary-Lou Barringer, girlfriend of Lance Stroll. He used to go out with Sarah Pagliaroli. She too was also a model, but Mary-Lou is from Montreal, has about 260,000 followers on Instagram, but is rarely seen at the track. I was surprised and somewhat delighted to see her in Austin for the first time last year. And at the final race of the year in Abu Dhabi, I was surprised to get these happy pics with Lance and Mary-Lou arriving together. This year I've only spotted her at one race, that being her home race of Montreal. The first time George Russell arrived with his girlfriend, Carmen Montero Mundt, was at the Tuscan Grand Prix of 2020 during the COVID year. Carmen's British, lives in London, works in finance and gets on famously with George's family and his manager Harry Soden. She has a stylist, some 454,000 followers, and that's nearly double what she had last year, and there are numerous Insta pages devoted to her. Carmen is more than happy to float up and down the paddock during race events. Back in 2022 at the Spanish GP, I stood next to her photographing Parc Ferme, and George covered both of us in bubbly from the podium. If you met Carmen, you'd like her. She's good-natured, down-to-earth, and she loves the F1 buzz. Next up, Fernando Alonso, and when I first entered Formula One, he was going out with model Linda Morcelli. In 2022, he was dating Andrea Schleger, an Austrian TV presenter, and now goes out with 36-year-old Spanish TV presenter Melissa Giménez. She was married to a Spanish footballer. She's great fun, super popular in her own right, with some 648,000 Insta followers, and many of whom watch her on the DAZN network. Now, I've spoken to all of these women in the paddock, chatted with them about various aspects of their lives, even provided some of them with images from the paddock, and by and large, they're lovely people. In my chats with them, I do often talk about what it's like coming into the paddock the very first time, because it's an eye-opener. You've got maybe 20 or 30 photographers standing in front of you, and their attention is fully on you. But thankfully, most, if not all, of their F1 driver boyfriends have briefed them prior and told them what to expect. Most quickly adjust to it, and many end up taking advantage of that attention. And why shouldn't they? Carlos Sainz goes out with a Scottish model, Rebecca Donaldson. I featured her in my Monaco Women of the Paddock post last year, 2023, before anyone realised that they were together. Rebecca is an F1 fan. Last year she was at Austin, Mexico and Vegas, and this year we've seen her at Bahrain, Miami, Monaco, Canada, and at the last race of the first half of the season in Spa. And it's not uncommon for me to see Rebecca walking with Alexandra, Charles Leclerc's girlfriend, in the paddock. Let's go on to Charles' girlfriend, Alexandra. I won't attempt her last name. My French is terrible, but I met her at his home race in Monaco 2023. Now, she's considerably more popular, with something like 940,000 followers on TikTok and 827,000 on Instagram. Initially, she was quite camera shy, but today she's more than comfortable in front of a myriad of cameras. She is way more popular than a number of F1 drivers. The female fans love her ultra stylish looks. Of course, you can't go wrong when you bring Leo, your dog, into the paddock. And she spends her time between Monaco and Paris. Next up, the first mum in our group. This is Carola Pérez, Sergio's wife. The pair met in a disco many years ago. They had their first child, Sergio Jr., in 2017. They married in June 2018, and their second child, Carlotta, was born in 2019, with Emilio in May 2022. Now, it's been a while since we've seen Carola in the paddock. My notes say it was July last year at the Austrian Grand Prix, where she was pregnant with Emilio. Maybe we'll see her pop up in the second half of 2024. Shall we go now to the McLaren drivers, and we'll start with Oscar Piastri. He's been going out with Lily Znaimer for some years now. She's British, polite, quiet, classy, and studies engineering at university and would love to get a job in Formula One. And with her contacts, I'd say she'd have a fair chance. And the second McLaren driver, Lando Norris, well, I haven't seen him with a girlfriend at the track since, 2022, when he was with Portuguese fashion model Luisa Oliveira. There have been various rumours about Lando, but in terms of women that he's seen at the track with, that's the only one. Now, if you're wondering where these women watch the race from, mostly it's the hospitality suite or the back of the garage, because when you get a guest pass from a team, and that's what most of these women are using to access the track, there is no seating involved, so it's not like they can go upstairs to a paddock club suite or out to a grandstand. That's not typically included. But if their boyfriend or husband ends up on the podium, they can get down to Parc Ferme, where they have the right to stand right on the fence, or certainly close to it. And normally their boyfriends or husbands will find them in the crowd for a hug. Another married driver is Kevin Magnussen. This is Louise, his wife. They married in October 2019 and have 2 daughters. The first time I spotted Louise was back in Germany in 2018. She was dropping Kevin off at the Hockenheim ring. Fun woman, happy to pose for pics now, and is the second of 4 mums in this group. And the last time I glimpsed her was from the roof of one of the hospitality suites, and she was down in the paddock in Spa. Max Verstappen in a relationship with 35-year-old Kelly Piquet. Yes, the daughter of F1 driver Nelson Piquet, been going out since 2020. Kelly was in a relationship with Daniil Kvyat, ex-F1 driver, and the pair had a daughter, Penelope, in 2019. She has the largest Instagram audience of this group, with 1.5 million Instagram followers. It's not often, though, that Kelly walks in with Max. Often she'll arrive on race day, partway through the race or just prior to it. And if Max wins, of course, she pops up in Parc Ferme. Next up, Daniel Ricciardo has been going out with 27-year-old Austrian actress Heidi Berger for 5 or so years now. She's the daughter of F1 driver Gerhard Berger. This year I spotted her at Canada, Monaco and Miami. In Miami, actually, she was throwing this football around for some time and happy to carry on for the cameras there. A classy dresser, positive disposition, and very much welcomed into the Ricciardo family. I can't remember which race, but I spent some time chatting with her about her acting ambitions, and at that time she said she was just waiting for some paperwork that would allow her to work in the USA. Only 175,000 followers on Insta and pretty much flies under the radar. Next up, Alex Albon. His girlfriend is Lily He, born in Chengdu, China, grew up in Canada and is a pro golfer. And this pair are immensely popular on my social media posts. They're a lovely, fun couple at the track, and Alex can often be seen accompanying Lily to some of her tournaments. They found each other over social media and met a couple of months later. She's a top performer on Instagram with 886,000 followers. And this year she's been at the British, the Monaco, Chinese, and the Miami GP. Do we have any professional cyclists in this group? Yes, we do. Valtteri Bottas' girlfriend, Tiffany Cromwell. Heralds from Australia, well, actually Adelaide, my birth town, pops up at a lot of races and met Valtteri through mutual friends in Monaco. Tiffany's not only good on a bike, she's a talented designer and designs some of Valtteri's helmets. Is marriage coming up? Who's to say? But I did notice that after the Spanish GP, she waited for Valtteri to finish the race and then gave him a hug and then had to scoot off to a cycling commitment. And apart from the Spanish GP, we've seen her this year at Canada, Miami, the British GP and Spa. Now, I've spoken to a number of long-term F1 people about why the wives and girlfriends are just so popular now. And pretty much it's down to social media and Drive to Survive. That show introduced a number of these women to a worldwide audience. Of course, so many young women see images of these partners at races around the world, flying private sometimes, wearing designer outfits, having stylists, and seemingly living the high life. And they think, how bad could that be? And many of them think, maybe I'm a chance. Certainly since I started photographing F1 in 2017, I've seen more and more young women swooning over drivers at the track. Some of them will wait all day at the paddock entrance or perhaps at drivers' hotels in the hope of catching a glimpse of their favourite driver, or even better, getting a selfie. Some drivers tell me, though, that they have fans who have gone past that fan stage and become fixated, and that is a problem, but that's a story for another video. Nico Hülkenberg is married to Egle, a Lithuanian known to all of us as Sunny. They have a daughter, Noemi, born in September of 2021, and both of them pop up at various races. She's known as the Crochet Girl. Why? Well, she has a business where she produces magnificent crocheted outfits. And last year I was lucky enough to get myself a hand-crocheted bucket hat. She's tall, she's glamorous, she's a businesswoman, and this year I've spotted her both at the Monaco race and the Miami Grand Prix. Esteban Ocon had been going out with this lady, Elena Berry, for most of the time I've been in F1, but the pair split in 2023. And then last race, no, it wasn't even the race, it was testing, I spotted him with this woman. This is Flavie Bala. She's French, from the Côte d'Azur, and is a medical student and a lovely woman to talk to. I got chatting with her in Barcelona or Monaco. She's been to 2 races this year, and she said that she's amazed at the level of attention she's had since she started going out with him. She went from some 16,000 followers to 160,000 after the first few pictures of her emerged, and people worked out that she was on social media. Does Zhou Guanyu have a girlfriend? Well, he had one last year, and I know that because I took a photo of her coming into the track. But shortly after I took that photo, I was asked by his crew to please not use that picture for a couple of reasons I won't go into. But I can't tell you whether or not he is still with her. And if he is, it's certainly kept very low-key. Should we go on to Logan Sargeant now from Williams? I haven't seen him at the track with any particular woman, but I happen to know he is friends with, and I don't know how close, with Riley Whittall, blonde-haired glamour, and the pair were seen in Saint-Tropez last month. So there you have all of the drivers with girlfriends, Lando Norris without, and there are 2 others. Lewis Hamilton, never seen him with anyone at the track. I know he used to go out with Nicole Scherzinger before my time from the Pussycat Dolls, but never seen him with a partner in the paddock. And the other one that we're not quite sure of is Yuki Tsunoda. He says he's got a girlfriend, but I've not seen any pictures of her anywhere, and certainly not at the track. Well, there you have the wives and girlfriends of all 20 of the full-time F1 drivers. Now, before you head off and do something else, I'll remind you to head to the kimillman.com website and go and click on the shop and find this page to see all of the F1 driver signed prints available to you. All hand-signed, hand-numbered, and you get a digital image of them signing your picture for irrefutable proof of authenticity, so if you ever go to sell it, you can pass that picture on to the buyer. For those not subscribed, hit the subscribe button please, and like this video at the very least. Thanks for watching, and stay passionate. Okay, let's give this a little bit of a tinkle here.